Back again. Comic Diaries, Episode 2. This week we have someone, he's also a pioneer in the game. What they call an old head. Yeah, someone who's done it for a while. An OG. He's the founder of Karura Comedy Club. He runs 2 comedy rooms, one in Mombasa, a monthly comedy room. And then there's another one in Nairobi. The one in Mombasa is Makazi Nyali. And the one here in Nairobi is Cares Organics. If you guys have been there before, you know him. He's the host of Kisiangani podcast. And he was roast master in the just concluded Hot Seat on Showmax. Folks, we have Emmanuel Kisiangani.
You got that intro, Maze. I'm glad to be here on Club. It was hard to get this guy to come through, man.
What do you mean, Joe?
He's a sneaky one.
What do you mean? Yeah, just said, give me a day the night part.
Nah, I'm kidding. It wasn't, he's not a difficult guy. You just get through to him the deal, and I do the thing.
Yeah, congrats on your podcast, man.
It's not really a podcast. I call it like a YouTube series because a podcast, you remember you told me is majorly audio.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have like audio. I wanted a YouTube series for people to get.
It's just a YouTube series.
Yes. Oh, okay.
So every weekly you bring your do comic.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So far this is episode 2?
This episode 2 we have Emmanuel Kisiangani.
Oh, cool stuff. I'm happy to be in one of the first one.
It had to be you, man. Because, guy, it's you. The first one.
We had Onjoro.
But then we had to be you. You guys are just who started really hard.
Oh, you guys. Onjoro is a legend.
I had to get Onjoro. We were starting slippery kumget. He got him, man.
You guys, you're there. Well, you guys. You started on a very good trajectory, Brad.
Trajectory. In this case, somewhat.
You guys, we're gonna kill it here. It's from us.
Tell people who is
Emmanuel Kisiangani.
I don't know, man. I'm one of those guys who find it hard to talk about myself. But many people talk about who they are. When you ask them who is Emmanuel, they start telling you what they are doing. So Emmanuel himself, maybe like not what you do.
By the way, I thought that question would be a bit deep for comedians. To force them
to peel away some kind of
why, because they're always coming through with a certain act, right?
Yeah, it's hard to get to.
But I think if I'll answer the question as it is, I'm not really a very reserved, quiet guy.
Yeah.
I'm not very loud. I'm the guy who hides in a corner in a movie.
Introverted. Very introverted.
I'm seeing guys who have come, wamekuja na wazingi. There's some 2 Indians there. They were shouting for the free phone. Free phone, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. If you see Indians shouting for phones, the economy is bad. Give it to me. Give it to me.
When I go sometimes I'm called for gigs. Interviews for things like radio, and I'm not stalking. So they wonder, is this the right guy to do? They expect you to land there with that.
Yeah, a certain energy, a certain vibe. Yeah. Immediately you're just like, yo, what up, guys?
But me, I'm actually a very quiet person, and unless if I'm in a space with guys, but if I'm in a formal space, I'll just be the quiet guy now. I'm an ambivert. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So where does the knack for comedy? Why stand-up comedy? Where does that come from?
I think I used to watch. There's a time I came across a Trevor Noah clip, and I watched it. I remember what was the name of it? I think it was called "It's My Culture," and I was so like blown away. I'm like, hey. And then I thought to myself, even me, I can do.
When is this? Can you remember?
It was 2012, yeah. But even before that, I used to, when I have presentations in Campo, because you remember I was the choir guy. So when I get, that you do group work, then you're told to go and do presentation. So when I do the presentation, everyone would wake up.
Like the room would be a bath.
So when you did the presentation, you
grabbed the attention.
So guys were like, hey, watu wameamka ba? Like, real bad the class. I'm like, so that happened in various spots,
in very different places. So you realize there's something.
So I was like, hey, there's something about when I go and stand up. Some lecturer was saying, hey, this is the only guy who uses gesture. So like, all right. So meaning I have a thing with public speaking. But it wasn't comedy, it was public speaking. So after a while, I said, after watching that Trevor Noah thing, I said looking for a place where I can practice. And the only place was that I could get was Churchill Show. When was this? So they used to do auditions, 2013.
Okay,
So I found out when the auditions were. I went, I tried out this was a table, let's call it meza. So a guy is sitting there, when you're telling you, who's there? Who's there? The first day I found a guy called Aluns. So shout out to Aluns. He's a very interesting guy. No, I didn't. Luckily, I didn't find him. So Mazini Kaena, I find Aluns. I did a few jokes. He said my jokes were whack, but I am pretentious. So he said, Kuja, cash. So now when I went the next day, I didn't find him. I found Terence. So Terence Mazini, he said to me, I joke. Terence, yeah. So that joke yako ya kwanza iko sawa, ya pili ni police poor, ya tatu ni disgusting. Cheki maneno kuja disgusting makes. Take it so kuja next week. So like, by week 3, I was already on the list for performance.
So the first week, each second week,
That alone, the guy took a liking to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was because I had a car. Because he used to force me to drop him, you guys. He was also a punk,
Interest. People have to protect their interest.
what do you study in campus?
I did communication.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the first time you find yourself on a comedy stage is 2013 at Chache.
Yeah.
This is a place carnival.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened? You bomb?
It was like one day, they used to have rehearsals. It was a whole procedure.
Yeah.
So you go for those auditions on Tuesday, Wednesday, you're told to come back. There's a steps to getting to stage.
Yeah.
So day 2, you're told to come back on Wednesday, which is a plus. So you're like almost half a quarter of the comedians who are there on Tuesday are now there on Wednesday. Then on Wednesday, if you're told come cash asubuhi, that means now your hopes are like at 80% now. Comedian was told come cash.
So that team who's killing it at Chache?
So Duka was killing it, even other communication authorities. Jiggy, Kisiria hii place ni unatafuta alafu unatafuta alafu pitowe unatafuta kazi ya rechi.
That's him giving you guys advice.
Cheki mimi kwa mlango yangu nitaliga Churchill show. Naligi actually built out a broad Churchill show for Mlango.
He built his own house and built a caricature shop of land.
As in when you say we are Jenga, you guys. So you guys must say on that now fateful Thursday now. Zita you new square show.
It's your first time going on stage.
At a dish.
Hey.
That means you guys are one of the guys. Oof. So unakula lunch, so work lunch, and then did they have like a buffet? No, but for staff, if you require this year staff organic. Oh, okay. Because staff have like you're giving on ugali, some nyama and something.
Last time I was there, they had like a small buffet, like a small span. Maybe that improved. Yeah, okay. So that in our heyday, there was no buffet. Nothing, Monze. What is that? Hungry chicks having it on nyama. Take.
But you take it because check your air on NTV.
Check it, mweona jua mini ni nani. Yep. So you guys, so after lunch rehearsals, I was nervous, So I pawned rehearsal, like you would see how nervous.
The nervousness is scary.
So some guy, I've forgotten his name, which is a very sad thing, yeah. Some guy who just took interest. He's an MC. He didn't do comedy, but he's an MC.
Okay.
So he called me and told me, you were very nervous, But the fact that with guys stage, uko na kitu. Yeah. So ukienda kwa stage, just relax. Na ufanye kitu. So that really calmed me down. It was me, my nerves were my Don't remember any of those jokes that I pay. But I'm sure they were, what? For real? Yeah, but anyway, I don't know, stayed for like a minute or a minute and a half. Remember, I was only performing in English. Funny enough, guys clapped as I was leaving.
Was it like inside the Sarakasi, the Mindan?
Yeah, the stage, the proper stage for the show.
No, you remember there's a time they put a tent outside.
No, the tents were occasional. Those tent shows are occasional.
Okay.
But the shows used to be up on that scene.
Okay, so you performed inside the scene.
Yeah. It was quite nice. The setup was nice lights, a stage. So it went alright, because guys clapped, I sped off the stage. But it was like a guy busting a nut in a second, because I was in and out. Oh, you ran. Shake it, I remember the out. Take the other, take it. Aye. No, but it was a very scary day.
Yeah, but you got through it. Who is your comedy idol?
Actually, a guy called Brian Regan.
When Brian Regan, is he have a beard? Is he big? No, he's just a white guy. He does a lot of his comedy.
First of all, they call him Ashleen comic because he can make a joke about a fridge. Like he can make you die about and he's talking about a guy selling him a fridge.
Yani the most mundane thing, something
just
very
day-to-day things, to do fridge, to do going to the clinic. He was saying that how come there's nobody when you get to the emergency, like when you call the emergency room, how come I think I've butchered. Okay, let me tell you. But Brian Regan is he's one of those guys who's a killer. He was saying when you drop someone at the emergency room, how come there are no guys waiting for him? Are you supposed to drop him then go back?
Oh, it's just weird observation.
Yeah. So to not drop him or guys. So go and tell them you're short, And to tell them you've been shot. Okay, let me go get some packing. You get that guy, you should go check him out.
Yeah. Tell them you need immediate attention.
Manze, and then now you go up there and start looking for packing.
Checking on Mushitiro. Somebody, anyone.
Can I take the space? No, I'm dying too. Okay, let me go and look for another pot. So Brian Regan is here. I like him because he makes fun out of.
And now that you say that, it's actually
like this tree.
It's similar to your style.
You think so? I think so. It's very when people tell you they're comedy idols, it's not like they borrow so much, but you can tell their style is so maybe they are hugely influenced. Kidogo, not hugely, kidogo. It's not like you take his style complete, but I can tell where you gravitated towards. Because you see, like me, I believe in God. So I believe in God. Yeah, and I'm not like one of these atheist guys. So when before I go on stage, I normally ask God. I believe in the Bible, this Paul, this will say,
there's this guy called King Saul, who became a king.
And his name to Paul.
Yeah. No.
King Saul. Okay, that is just.
Okay.
So King Saul, when he met a prophet called Samuel,
Someone told him,
you'll go like this, then you're gonna start praying or something, and then a spirit is gonna come with you, then you become another man. Right? So if you it changes you into that spirit makes you into another. It gives you another man. So when I'm about to go on stage, I normally ask God to give me whatever is on Brian Regan. All the people I think I do, Noah, whatever is on his skin.
Cloak me with whatever.
Yes, exactly. So see, God, Maze, whatever is on Trevor Noah, Brian Regan, Godfrey, because we love those guys.
Yeah.
Maze, ekelea yo kitu on me, man.
Ekelea on me, man.
Yeah, then you're making stage.
What's one thing you wish more people knew, especially locally, about stand-up comedy?
I wish they wouldn't be so judgy. I feel like the local crowd it could be judgy. So maybe I'm judging them harshly also.
I wish they could appreciate the craft behind it. The craft. Like they appreciate that when someone is on stage.
Me used to think comedy is somebody going on stage and just talking. I never used to know they prepare. Yes, okay, yeah. Because it really looks so effortless. Yes. But if you understand that someone prepares, you'll know that it's not easy to stand over there. Yes. So sometimes maybe someone has not done as well, but you appreciate the crafts behind it. You appreciate the artistry. At least they stood there and tried to craft and create something for you. Exactly. So a good audience would be one who tells you, hey, we're going to tell me what is Nairobi Stand.
Like that is someone.
Yeah, Kenyans. That's very true.
I feel like some of them are
Kenyans
patient.
Yes, they want something. Kill.
Yeah.
Amazing joke. They don't want to see a process.
Yes,
they don't want to see some kind of thing.
And that is what
a special is. A special is a celebration of someone's journey. So sometimes when someone is shooting a special, I'm sure a core audience will have already seen most of those jokes. But because they appreciate the crafts,
they come there. It's like comedians. Comedians, we know each other, but we still laugh. Like you go on stage, like repeat a joke you've done. Yeah, and I'll still be like, why?
Yeah.
Because we appreciate the journey.
By then, our medium of like stand-up comedy can be very unfair. I was watching like Ali Kiba performing. Like every time Ali Kiba does a performance, he'll upload it on YouTube. Now he'll do the same song on every performance he's performed. Canada is everywhere.
So he's uploading the same exact song but it still resonates. Unajua, but ni the same song he's singing. People don't look at it like, we need a new song. It's a hit, we love it for that. But a comedian, once you have a really good joke, it's like a race to come up with like the next really good joke.
I think the laws for comedy and the laws for music are different.
Very.
Like I remember there's this documentary I watched about Avicii. So Avicii, he came outside doing his thing. He became a superstar. Then he decided to write his own stuff. So he gets singers and then he tells them how to sing. For him, he does the beats. So he decided to launch that album live. Okay? You go check out that documentary on Netflix. So he decided, leo tunapiga tu hizi ngoma mpya. Because that show was a bomb,
For real.
Okay, guys. Shocked. That girl was
Seriously?
depressed. Funny enough, after like, say, a couple of months, all these songs, by Avicii, ni hizo za hiyo date.
Wallahi.
So zilishika after like 6 months. So for music, I think people want to hear what they know.
Yeah.
So, but for comedy, people want to hear fresh stuff. They want to churn out.
Yeah, and they want it to be so good, better than what you had yesterday.
But I think the key is just to evolve the thing you have. Like, if I told you have a joke about beards, do it this way today, the next day do it the other way, approach it from another direction, keep stretching it. So people, like there's another guy called Salvador.
Yeah.
Salvador can do for you that same joke, which you had, but you die, But he didn't do it the same way. He just evolved it slightly. It's still super hilarious.
So from your experience, what do you think is the most frustrating thing about
the slow grind?
Yeah, it's a slow grind. You can kill it today, then tomorrow tomorrow crickets. Nigga, I'm not even funny now,
man. So it's a very slow grind, and that's very frustrating. Especially if you have bills to pay, depending on stand-up. Because you see, you have to perform. The more you perform, the more money you make. So if you're performing and it's not working hours, there's no money. Yeah. But it's a slow grind, but it's a career which would last longer than many, because so long as you're healthy, you have your health, you have your voice. Even when you're 80 or 90.
Yeah, it's not a young man's game, but here.
Okay, it's a long game.
Yes, that's very
I love seeing these older comics in a Brian Regan. Old guys. And then if you watch their old bits, like if you watch that when they started out, you can see him doing the same beat, but the energy is doing it when he's an old guy. He's so like the confidence is exuding.
Yeah.
Check it, exuding.
Check it. Check him.
He's a guy for you. So nasikia you guy. So that guy is doing the same beat with a lot of Doug is in that area right now.
Yeah. Very comfortable
stage, and he's in charge.
Yeah.
Sleepy told me something interesting. He said, when you have the mic, you're in charge.
That's true. Able to draw a contrast between comedy back then, specifically like you did a lot of chatting. People think it's like different from our scene so much. It's so divorced.
I think it's different. It was more like improv.
At chatting.
Yeah.
How?
Because you write a joke on Tuesday and you perform it on Thursday. And you'll never perform it again.
Because it's gone on TV.
Yes. So, especially if you're one of those killers who's making it on TV every week. So you write the joke on Tuesday. Wednesday you rehearse it. Thursday you perform it on TV. On Saturday it will be seen by the whole of Kenya, and they want a fresh set.
Luyas are a farming community. We farm. We farm things like sugarcane and various stuff. And the thing about the Luya accent, though, is when you have a deep Luya accent, it changes the meaning of words. Like my dad is this Luya guy with a thick Luya accent, and he's a farmer now. So he came to Nairobi to learn a new method of farming, and he started teaching his fellow villagers. So my dad was like, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I have learned new methodologies in Nairobi. I have learned a new methodology of farming, and this methodology is called the Patok methodology. Now there are different sizes there are different types of paddocks, large paddocks, small paddocks, and I like showing things practically. Let's go, I show you my paddock.
Was there a culture of joke writing? Like, he's doing really good. We read that side jokes for him, so you guys we're struggling with writing right now.
No, guys would ride up with their friends. The guys you're vibing with. Okay, if you're hanging around together, you're right. And guys used to work hard together. Let's spend the whole night just rehearsing, writing, and trying to come up with scripts. There's a video I saw Shipukizi posted about how they spend the night with Kinafredo Mondi just writing. So it was, those guys were super talented, especially with that turnaround of jokes. And but there is a big difference in what they were doing, what we are doing here. There was a lot of meritocracy, like meaning Biggie, like mini star.
Yeah.
But in there were stars, there was no Facebook, there was no TikTok. Yeah, so the only platform was there. So anyway, if you kill it there and you walk around up and down, guy the beast, say. So I think sometimes it will get into the heads. So it's say, guy, Salame and guys who get then crap, yeah.
Here, guys, you kill it. Guys will respect you, yes, but we are all in the trenches together. Yeah. So there's not that arrogance. I'm not seeing it here.
Yeah, but you have no
arrogance.
Yeah, arrogance.
It's really
because even now seem like nani coming more. Like who's not
good.
fun.
Everyone, as long as you're on stage long enough, you're gonna be as good as anyone.
Yeah, you're gonna find your voice.
Yeah.
Who was the first person to have their head really big and start like?
Because me just met the ones I met when I got there. I remember when I get, there's a time Chipukizi was talking to some guy. So I went to Salamia there. So see when Chipukizi, and this is the guy. When Salami.
Oh, Chipukizi Kevin.
Yes. Check it. Yeah, so nikamwambia. Ati
Yeah. So there was a lot of that.
the fizzy. But one of the things I learned there was, if at all I become anybody,
I really try not to be arrogant.
Yeah. Which is weird because I was watching Kisiangani podcast and I saw like you're progressively getting impatient to some of the guests.
No, that was just a stupid comment. A lot of comments they were getting the sun.
You're host of Kisiangani podcast, Neil.
Yeah.
Is it rewarding? Do you like doing podcasts?
I think that's one of my favorite times in a day.
For real?
When I'm sitting there doing a podcast. I feel like I'm most alive at those moments. Because especially when I'm doing it with comics, we know how to, if you can say something, then me I'll say kupepeta.
Kupepeta.
So you take a thing, alafu unaipeleka
amplify, yeah.
So I truly enjoyed the podcasts. It gave me a voice because I feel like when I was on radio, I had another voice. I used to.
Did you hate experiencing JB?
I did hate it because I learned a lot. But if I were to go back to radio, I wouldn't do it the way I did.
Was it so? I'm a program manager. I was going to control so much the content, no freedom.
Yes, there's a lot of creative control. There's a lot of supervision. There was some docket where you have to say the story. But rightly so, because you see it's a media house. Communications authority used to listen. So if you say something crazy, they're going to find the station.
They used to listen.
Yeah, there's guys who monitor. The guys who monitor what to be. Because otherwise, see, you can start announcing that you've taken over the go.
Nimechukua serikali.
You get.
Yeah, but it's just an announcement. You have no power.
No, radio is really powerful. Yeah, radio is really powerful. So they have to monitor. A lot of propaganda was spread through radio. Remember the cockroach story in Ram?
Yeah. Even in 2007, the guy in Rift.
But what did that guy say?
He was saying all sorts of things.
About happiness, huh?
He was... Yes, he was saying things like he was really like...
Sang.
Yes. There's a report about that whole called the Waki report. I mean, detail everything on the
Yeah, man. So you need there has to be a sieve. Okay. I don't know what's gonna happen now with social media. Like who's gonna be the sieve? Because now guys are also like TikTok guys are just vibing and doing like.
Nani was telling me, one of the comics. Sarah was telling me like it comes to like a certain hour in the evening at night. TikTok is just gone.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there's just guys chanting. Double tap this screen, double tap. It's just weird stuff.
Yeah.
That like
it goes like crazy at night.
Yeah. So it's just a really weird.
I remember there used to be Kunyonga na Mia. Check tunanyonga na mia, tap your screen tunanyonga na mia,
tap the screen,
alafu tutakutumia WhatsApp nikwambie venye utapata video ya kunyonga. Leo tunanyonga na mia.
So it's like a marketing you can control even. I get.
Damn.
It will be very hard to control social media. Social media, you know, where, especially during times of elections, and one of the US is like, oh my god, feels like the entire democracy is on the brink of collapse.
Yeah, true. So, to answer your question, yes, I love the podcast. Shout out to the guys I'm podcasting with most of the time. It's not just me. Bash,
Cheer.
like he's always there. Dota brings in some very nice energy all the time. George comes through many times. But I try and make the podcast a place where guys come and come get me.
Yeah.
It's not like it's one stop. But those guys I mentioned are sort of the common features.
Yeah, they feature there a lot.
And shout out to them.
So you recently were the roast master on Hot Seats in Showmax. Check it out in Showmax if you haven't.
Yeah.
How was your experience? How did that come about? Did you love it?
Yeah, it was interesting. Eugene called me once. Eugene Mugo, shout out to him by the way. He called me once and said, "Hey, Manu, we discussed how we can do Hot Seats." Dad used to curate it before, but they had some differences, so he was doing it for someone else to curate. So I went, listened, and I was like, see, I can do this thing.
Yeah.
Then I was also looking for a credit for Karura Comedy Club, a TV credit.
Lovely.
So I needed something to, you always, many times you need another rapper, something you can point at and say,
I did this.
Yes. So like, I've never done such a thing, so let me take it. So I curated it. Curating simply means organizing the comedy, organizing the writing sessions, the comedians, and then I also hosted. So I used to have two jobs. I was the curator, I was also the host. So I hosted 12 episodes. I didn't host one, Bashir hosted one.
Yeah.
But it was this week on Monday. This week. It was a roast special like 2 weeks ago. I was so relaxed.
For real?
Yeah, but like I was in the house chilled. I'm like, what? I'm like, hey, I haven't been this chill in a while. So I just discovered the pressure from that roast was a lot.
For real?
It was a lot of pressure.
What's giving me pressure the most?
Number one, organizing the comedians. Organizing comedians is not the easiest task. Those guys have demands. You call Mike one and anakwambia pesa unaniambia ni kidogo.
Which you never called me once.
Check it. Your pesa ni kidogo, bro.
Jai called Mike one.
We used to shoot on Tuesdays, and there was a whole build up to that.
Yes.
On Monday we had to do a dry run with the Showmax clients, and then almost every weekday we used to meet in the evening to write. So and you have to organize all this stuff.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you have to organize guys to come and shoot the promo. You have to organize guys to meet the guy we are roasting to bond.
Yeah,
so it was a lot of the build up to our roast was very intense. If you look at the South African roast, then they do one roast, chill for maybe another 4 months, then do another one.
Would you recommend that kind of style, or?
I think if you've invested, I think that style works because it's less intense. Then for their roast, they invest a lot in writers. So the writers do a lot of the brain work.
Writing for a roast is not easy.
Yes.
It is not easy.
So here we had a head writer, but it was sort of some sort of our own style of curating a roast. Because we'd write on our own, we'd have a head writer just to go through the jokes. But maybe going forward as it grows, I think we'll have invest more in writing.
Who was head writer?
There was a head writer in any episode.
Yeah, so pick
in each episode it was either George or Bashir.
Okay.
Head writer. And George is an awesome writer.
Very, yeah.
Bashir was a killer on the road, so he also had the mind.
Oh.
So going forward, if we have more money, we'll pay more people to do the writing bit of it.
Yeah, I think
it was a great experience nonetheless.
Yeah.
Once you're on stage and you see guys laughing at the things you wrote, it's a very good feeling.
So you're saying like galvanizing and organizing the comedians is not very easy?
It's not easy. It's never easy to organize human beings. I think that's why companies have a human resource department.
Sheesh.
So these guys, their work daily is to deal with people. If you don't have to do that and you can just write, that lessens your job by almost half. But we were operating a tight ship.
Yeah.
But we made it work.
Yeah,
We
he
made it
finished
work.
the season.
It had a lot of challenges when we were beginning.
Mm.
Some comedians didn't want to perform. They were saying these guys are not paying us well, so we are not going to perform. But luckily, we had a nucleus of guys who agreed to perform.
Yeah.
And from the work we did with those guys, eventually people warmed up and started coming through and performing.
Yes, I coming along.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the people you are roasting on the roastees end?
The people were,
yeah.
most of them were good sports in terms of sitting there and taking it. I was a bit disappointed with majority of them who didn't roast back. Because I feel like that's the climax of any roast.
That's the essence of it, yeah.
Because everyone is waiting to see, hey, wacha mtu wetu atawaambia. But most of them never used to go through the material. They come there, they've not rehearsed. They start telling you, like I remember Butita telling me, "Mama, sina mistari. Take mbona una mistari na ni Butita wewe." Shout out to Butita, is my boy.
Shout out Butita.
So maybe if we're gonna do more roasts in the future, it needs to be like international style where the climax is the person being roasting.
Yeah, that should be the climax for real.
That's what everyone is waiting for. So, but I'm not saying all of them are like that. YY did a good job. The clubbacks. MC Jesse did an excellent job with the clubbacks.
Yeah.
But these two are
performing comedic performances.
Yes.
Performers.
The rest of the guys many of the guys were singers. In Savara tried.
Yeah,
he
he
could
tried.
see he's struggling.
Yeah, he's not a comedic.
Yes, but you could see he tried.
Yeah, he tried. He tried to get up and do something.
Major, I think because of his style, he was able to read through bits about everyone, and it really worked. I think that was a highlight of the night. All the time when the guests would come through with clapbacks, it was always a...
so the guests, it's kind of, they didn't realize people were there for them.
They didn't realize that they're waiting for that time to give them clapbacks. Funny enough, Kabio Jesus wasn't bad with the clapbacks.
He killed. I was there.
Yeah, he did really well.
He did really,
I think that was the first one, right?
Yeah, the very first.
Yeah, he had a lot of confidence and he has stage presence.
Yeah.
So that went well. Willie Paul was also not too bad. This chick called DJ Pierre Maze didn't do anything.
Pierre was like,
nilikuwa nafuata rosti ya Trevor Noah.
Yeah, Pierre was like, I thought we had a better lineup than this fucking losers. Check CC, okay, Pierre.
No, but it was a great experience. It's a good credit.
Yeah, to have
people see you on Showmax. Actually, the roast is really kicking it. Huh?
Yeah, they're doing well.
People are coming to shows. They're like, hey, we saw you guys on Showmax.
Yeah.
So we're happy to see you guys live. So it's always a thing which is hard to do, but it has rewards for a very long time.
Great. So tell me, what's your comedic milestone? It doesn't have to be something grand or big. Just something that happened to you while you were doing comedy that left a positive mark. Yeah.
To be honest, and I don't know if it's the freshest thing that we're doing here.
Yeah.
The roast has been a milestone.
For real.
Yeah, because doing 13 episodes of show like that. I think that was one of the, deep dives.
Yeah.
You dive in, you're like, you don't know how this thing will go, but let me see how it goes. So for me, that was a milestone for my career because it's taught me that I can actually put together something of the sort, put together the human resources.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a milestone. Also, the comedians were being paid more than the other roasts.
Yeah.
I feel like that was also growth in terms of the scene.
Yeah.
Means I'm sure it will never go down from there.
Yeah.
Especially if we're doing a show for this streaming services.
Yeah, it's a standard that's been set.
So I feel like now our name of the stuff that we are doing here in the trenches is starting to get out. Because Showmax is Africa-wide. Huh?
Yeah.
Go to Netflix, there's no Kenyan representation for stand-up. There's a show called Stand-Up Comedy of the World. So in this Comedy of the World, there are Mexicans, there are British, there are people from India, and the only country where comics are represented are South Africa. Kina Mfo Pops, Kina
Mapani.
this guy. who else is another thing? Loiso Gola.
Loiso, okay.
But it's sad. It was always sad to me to see and like, hey, even us, we have comics now.
Manze.
But I think we're gonna get there.
In time, in due time.
Yeah, in due time. I think Kenya is gonna produce, because our audience is very rich. Because I've performed in SA and it's very expensive to go there. But we have an audience which is of that quality here.
Oh, you meant rich, like they understand the concepts, what the comedian is trying to say. That's very true. We have a very intelligent audience.
So if you can make a guy in Nairobi laugh, because they are well versed with international affairs, you can make that person laugh, I'm sure you can make the world laugh. And I feel like that should be the ultimate goal. We have comedians like you and me performing all over the world. We are doing South Africa, we're doing Europe tours, we're doing, Australia tours, the States. Like that's how people should be viewing what we are doing. And I feel
that
like
is the goal
of getting onto these streaming services is one of the ways.
All right. I think that's a good place to kind of like put the end note over there.
You were Chamaliza.
Chamaliza, you guy, Maze.
Thanks for having me, Maze, on this show.
Thanks for coming through, Maze.
Yeah?
It's the second episode. Thanks for coming through, Maze.
You guys make sure you have staying power.
Commitment, keep doing them.
I hope you're in this thing for the long haul, you guys.
Have to.
Huh?
I have to keep doing them.
You guys keep calling comedians. Even if you have to call guys back again, just keep doing it. But just make sure you're in it for the long haul, you guys. This thing is going to be one of the biggest comedy diary shows ever, you guys.
Thank you, man. Once a manga from your mouth to God's
ears, bruh.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel, like, share the videos, go follow Emmanuel Kisiangani, follow Karura Comedy Club. Why Karura?
Karura was where we did the first show.
Really?
You asked me if I'm the sole founder of Karura, and I said yes, but I thought about it. That would be a lie, because we were with Mamito.
Yeah,
we were with Mamito.
Shout out Mamito.
Shout out to Mamito. Because we were looking for a place where we can perform in English. So we decided to create our own room, talk to some Mave uko in Karura, Muzaiga. There's a square. Nowadays there's a Tuskys there. No, not a Tuskys. Or something. But there's a place up for Kitusuru as you're heading towards Gigiri. It's like a road, connecting road. There's a mall there. So there was a coffee shop there called Karura Coffee Shop.
Damn.
It used to sit like 5 guys. So we had our very first English stand-up show there, you guys. It was me, Mamito, we called Doug. No, Doug came from the second one. It was me, Mamito, we called Botita to come through because he was dating Mamito at the time. And I don't remember who else. No, Brian Onjoro, I think. At the time I also called Brian Onjoro. So
Brian Onjoro sneaks his way into any type of history that
man.
has to do with comedy. Shout out Brian Onjoro, he's a real OG.
So that place was sitting 5 people. And they actually came. So I was like, hey, people have come.
They came. People don't know how rewarding it is to put on a comedy show and you have people actually show up to the show.
Me, I'm like, yo, man. So we were standing on some pallets. We didn't even have a light. The light was on the ground, shining upwards.
Yeah.
But guys were laughing.
This is 20?
From the UN. It was 2016.
Oh.
There were some guys from the UN, a guy called Mike who became a friend of mine now. Some guys from Malawi. I think we were charging 1,000 over the door. But I remember that chick who runs the place cutting out some of our money once. At least she had extra bills, you guys. Yeah,
for real?
Crazy.
Took your money that you're supposed to get.
Yeah, because you see guys were paying her for the tickets. Then she chomoed Kedo 4 Gs, you guys. You guys, that mother. So that's why it's called Karura Comedy.
All right.
It started up in Karura.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a name that is catchy.
It's very unique. I don't know, there's no comedy club in the world called Karura.
Yeah. Then there's Karura Forest. So I feel like it's a name which is known.
Yeah.
But now if you just attach comedy club to that, it gives a certain ring to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Follow Karura Comedy Club. Follow Emmanuel Kisiangani. Follow me. Subscribe to this channel. Guys, thanks again. See you next week.
Very quickly before guys see us next week, we have a new room at Widely Coffee.
There's a new room coming.
Yes.
Talk about Widely Coffee. Yeah.
So Widely Coffee is a room which was being run by Doug. Actually, it was originally found by Ribia.
Yeah.
So Ribia swung it towards Doug Mutai. Doug Mutai came here to start the Laugh Bar. So the room was in limbo. And then Ribia took it back. but Ribia got a bit busy, so Karura Comedy Club has taken up that room. So we're gonna be doing a show there once a month. So we have a show there on 8th. It's a crowd work show.
Yeah.
You can come through Pig Sport, huh? If you
We shall see. We shall have this conversation. But you say it will be there monthly.
Second week.
So now you have 3 rooms. You have Karura, you have Kez, you have Wiley Coffee,
and we have Nyali.
And you have Nyali.
Yeah. Comedy is growing, man.
Expanding.
Yeah. So if you're gonna watch this episode early enough, 8th of March we're going to be at Wiley Coffee along Langacha Road. Very pretty space, doing the crowd work show. So karibuni sana.
All right, there you go. Emmanuel Kisiangani, Karura. Thank you so much, guys. Follow, subscribe, hit the like button, share, all that good stuff.
All right.
All right.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, man.